All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. How you doing? I'm John from Designed Elegance Pastry Shop. I hope you're well. It's great to see you. So, for tonight's video, it's hot. I don't feel like turning on the oven, so we're just going to make some chocolate truffles. Make some chocolate loveliness for the ladies. I have some fudge. I have some different assorted toppings that we can decorate with, and I have some wonderful dark chocolate, so let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I have this fudge here. Now, I had it at room temperature, okay, so it was soft, and then what I did was I put it in the fridge for about 45 minutes to an hour just to put a little chill on it. The reason I didn't want to use it fresh out of the fridge is because then my scoops of chocolate would be very, very solid and stiff, and I would never be able to just roll them comfortably. Okay, so they're going to be soft and pliable. This way, I'll be able to roll them quick, roll them round, get them in the freezer so they can set right up, so I can dip them in that nice warm chocolate that we're going to melt in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to use this little scoop here. Now, this is if you go to Walmart and you see the different cookie scoops that they have, you'll see different sizes. This is basically the smallest one. Okay, so it'll make a small chocolate chip cookie, or it'll make a nice round truffle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to nice and gently scoop an even amount, okay? I'm not heaping it over, okay? Very important. You want them to all be the same size, okay? Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? See how easy it is when it's like this? See, the fudge is soft. It's firm, but it's soft. Oh, yeah. That's going to be some nice rolling right there. Yeah. Did it hit 90 today?
92.
92? Yeah, I'm not. I told my wife, I don't really feel like, she's like, what are you doing for the lesson tonight? I'm like, I don't feel like turning on the oven. She's like, oh, okay, I get that. She's like, truffles are kind of old hat for her. She's like, oh, well, whatever, truffles. I'm like, well, people like truffles. They're good.
Indeed,
homemade chocolate candies. Yum.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many we got here? 4 times 4, that's 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might as well bring it up to 20. Okay. These are soft. Now, basically, once around on the hand is going to be all I'm going to give them, because I don't want the filling to just melt in my hands. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's yummy. Okay, let's put this over to the side. Okay, now, like I said, a quick, and if I find that they're getting too soft, then I'm just going to chill them the way they are, because they somewhat got their shape already. But let's just give this a go here. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah. I think I'm going to need to chill these. All right, so let's take a break. Let's chill these in the fridge. Okay, if I'm going to struggle with the first one, then I'm obviously going to struggle with the rest of them. And I don't want to just make a mess. So let's chill these for 10-15 minutes, and we'll be right back. Okay. All right. Welcome back, folks. Pardon me. Okay, so since I was on camera last, I took a moment and I rolled these truffles balls. Basically, you just grab one, you give it a couple of twirls, and set it down. You want them to round them. Remember how they were scooped? They had flat spots and so on. Anyway, now that these are round, what I did was I froze them. They were in the freezer for, what do you say, 45 minutes, maybe? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, basically overnight is best, okay? But, I needed to get them firm enough to dip into this chocolate. Now, I've already melted the chocolate. This is dark chocolate. This is a pretty good chocolate. It's like, 64%. This is a product from Noel. It's a French company. But you can use basically any kind of chocolate, any kind of dark chocolate, just as long as it's viscous enough that you can dip your truffles in. You don't want to have a chocolate that's like too stiff, even though it's warm and melted, so to speak. Okay? So, that being said, okay, I'm right-handed, so what I like to do is go like this. Set my big fat butt down. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop one in, cover it with chocolate, pull it back out, let it drip for a sec, grab it with my fingers, and then I want to let it slide right through. Slide right through the fingers, okay? And basically, what you're looking for is to leave as little of a fingerprint as possible, okay? And you want to leave as much of a coat as possible, but not to where it's like dripping into a big giant puddle underneath, okay? So it takes, you got to get the hang of it, so to speak. And it's best to just go one at a time, okay? Because remember, these are cold, okay? And if I drop 2 or 3 of them in there, what's going to happen is they're going to have a whole bunch of chocolate solidifying around them because the cold core is going to, suck the warmth out of the warm chocolate. And then you're going to have a truffle with a big giant coating. And it'll be too much. So you don't want to, you want to avoid that. Okay. You just want to let them slip right through the fingers like I'm doing. Be patient. Okay, notice I went all the way to the edge because I don't want to drip across the ones that are already done. Okay. That. Nice. Okay. So the filling recipe, okay, I just use my basic fudge for this, which is, I like to use 1 quart of heavy whipping cream with 36 ounces of chocolate. I use mini chocolate chips. So that's my recipe for that. I scald the cream. When it scalds and boils up, turn the heat off, drop all your chips in, stir it, let it sit, let all that chocolate melt right in, and then when I pour it off, I usually do it through a sieve, so that strains out any little last pieces of chocolate, little chunks. This way, that gives me a nice smooth filling, okay? So that's what this is, okay, the fudge recipe. Now, I also do have other recipes for other different types of fillings that can be truffle fillings. And likewise, I have recipes for like an orange filling, a lemon filling, a white chocolate filling. So, those might be something that we want to explore if people are interested and want to ask for that. Okay. All right, so I've got just 5 left, and I've done a bunch here. Now, one thing that I did do, look at all this chocolate here. I want to get that up on there. Anyway, one thing I want to do is decorate these a few different ways. So one of the ways that I wanted to do it is to add some nuts to the truffle. And I have some chopped pecans that I just chopped a few minutes ago. So what we'll do is just sprinkle a few on the pan here. Here, let me do this. Just spread them out a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop them on the surface. And I like doing that because I find that if you try and rolling the truffle in the nuts, it gets to be so much. There ends up being so much nut on the chocolate that it just becomes too much. That's my opinion, and I make them the way I like them. So this is the way I do it. By dropping them on, you end up getting a nice bottom layer, and it's like a full amount of nut. But when you eat it along with the rest of the truffle, it doesn't overpower the chocolate. The nut doesn't overpower the chocolate. And that's what it's all about for me. So let me demonstrate how I do this. Okay. Notice I have, I got my rag that I'm continuously using. I'm using my one hand with my two fingers for the chocolate. Okay. And again, it's the same method, but make sure you really drop, you're up a little bit so that I don't want to touch my fingers to this nut, okay? Because then I'm going to end up getting nuts in the chocolate. I don't want to do that. All right. So I've got my one hand that doesn't have chocolate on it. I got my one hand that does. And notice I keep just going back and forth here. Keeping this hand, I'm not going to wash the chocolate off every time because that would just be a waste. Okay, now my truffles are starting to get a little soft. I can feel it. So that being said, I would not suggest doing 5 dozen at a time. It's just too many, folks. You want to do this in small batches. I mean, you can make a bunch of mix. That's all fine. And you can scoop a whole bunch of them and, put them in the freezer. And that's all good. But as far as letting them sit out, ready to dip, you only want to get as few out as you really can dip in a short amount of time. Because, like I said, they soften up, they get condensation. And then once they get condensation on them from being frozen, then it's really hard for the chocolate to adhere to the center core. So, like I said, it's very important that you just get out a few, get them dipped up, and then, go ahead and, get more out if you have more to dip. Okay, so that'll be my last one right there. Okay, now I want to just take a moment and take a peek. Okay. All right. See all these little indentations here? These are my fingerprints. That's my thumb. And, the other side would have been my forefinger. Okay. So now from time to time, that part will be thin enough that it'll pop through and the core will actually start to bubble out. When that happens, okay, if there's like a miss, then I would want to dip my finger in, okay, and just give that a little touch, see, just to hold it in, I'm not going to have that problem because I was very, very careful about letting them just slide right through my fingers, okay. The tighter you hold them, okay, here's one where I've got a little mess. The tighter you hold it, the more chance you're going to have a very thin spot on the side of your truffle. Okay, you want to let them go. You want to have space in between. Okay. All right. So now I've got them all dipped. I've got a few like that. Now what I want to do is, for a little contrast, I've got a little bit of white chocolate melted. Okay. So you want to stir it up nice and smooth. And we'll just give these a little drizzle here like that. Doesn't that look nice?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. Looking good. All right. I'm going to pop these in the fridge for 5 minutes, and we will be right back to test one or two or three or four. We can get on with it here. Okay, so for presentation purposes, I like to put them in these little papers here. Okay. You can just get them at the grocery store in your little candy section, the baking section, the chocolate section. Okay. All right. So, all right, we're going to try one, and I'm going to put the rest back in because they're not quite ready. See, well, that should come up with this. Okay.
Right, there should be a left behind.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Let me pop these in the freezer. Okay. And we'll go ahead and enjoy that one.
Oh, sure.
Might as well, you know.
Right.
The freezer actually chilled down right quick.
Okay.
Like, right quick. All right, big guy. Shall we share?
Yes, we shall.
All right. Let's cut into this guy. Let's see what kind of loveliness we have here.
And just remember with truffles, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Because it's worth it.
Oh, yeah. Use both fingers.
Yeah,
don't be bashful. Okay, look at that. See, you got the outer shell. You got the fudge inside.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, I love that contrast. Wow.
And the difference that 67% chocolate makes,
oh, yeah. That's good stuff. It's rich. It's got a high cocoa content. Yeah, it doesn't have like a waxy taste. It's not overly sweet. It's got a very rich cocoa flavor.
Yeah.
But it's not real. It's not too. It's rich. It's not too sweet. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. Good stuff. So, yeah.
You done it again, man. And if you have any questions, please pop them down in the comments. We love comments.
All right. There we go. 64% Noel Royal Bittersweet Ceviche, product of France. Okay, this is what I'm using. Okay, and I do like to add some of this to it. Okay, like a third of this, 2/3 of this.
Okay,
that's like my favorite because this is very, very loose.
Yeah.
Where this is a little tighter, but this is 52%. 52%. Okay, no, this is 62%.
Oh.
Yeah, this is 62%. So this is a good rich chocolate as well. See what I mean?
Yeah. You can see why I thought that it said 52.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, this is a product out of Belgium, okay? I get this at Aldi's. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, I mean, it's where I get it. And this I get from one of my chocolate purveyors, and this comes from France. So, you know...
Together, they pair really well.
Yes, exactly. And likewise, like, you know, most of the recipes where, like, a chocolate... Like a white chocolate or a dark chocolate is like one of the basic ingredients.
Right.
I will use a combination of different types of chocolate in order to create the kind of texture that I'm looking for. So, anyway, all right, let's just sit tight and let me grab the. I bet the other ones are ready now.
Okay.
All right, they're perfect. I did not want them to, like, freeze, okay?
You just want them chilled so they hold together.
Well, watch this.
Oh, nice and clean.
Okay? That's perfect. That's what I want right there. Okay? So
essentially you would see that a little bit like that. Put it back in the chiller for a few. Try again, right?
You want to be able to touch them. But you don't want them to be so cold that they start sweating, because once they start sweating, then they're gonna discolor. Okay.
Okay.
And they're not gonna look great. You know, I mean, basically, these are chocolates that, you know, they look great right now, but you don't want to, like, let them sit on the counter for 5 days,
right? Like
you would a box of Valentines. You know, these are special. You know, this is like a perishable thing, you know, almost. Well, it's not perishable, but it has its prime, so to speak. All right. So here, let me, okay. So check this out.
Oh, that's perfect.
And then you just set it on its side so people see what it is. Okay. Boom. See? And then it's not too much.
Yeah, it's just a nice little bite.
All right, so, oh yeah, that's beautiful right there. This last one here is the one we're going to eat.
I ain't going to argue.
Well, we already tried the other one.
Yeah, we got to try this one with the nuts.
Yeah, you're nuts.
Woohoo!
Oh, look at how, see it cuts nice and clean?
Yes.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
There you go.
All right. I'll show this to you real quick, folks. See it? Got the nuts, you got the shell, you got the center of the truffle.
That's banging. Could still be chilled a little bit more, but it's okay. See how it's like at room temperature?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just for the record, you definitely want to chill them. Okay, if you don't chill them,
they're going to melt.
Well, they never set up properly.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And what I found to happen is the natural oils in the chocolate tend to seep out and discolor the surface, and it looks really kind of funky.
Okay.
Okay. So the best thing to do is it's almost like the chocolate separates. Mm-hmm. It doesn't truly separate, but it starts. That's the illusion.
Lose the oils in it.
Well, it starts to break down, so to speak.
Okay.
So anyway, that being said, when you at this point, I mean, right now, I would wrap these. I wouldn't even paper them. What I'd do is I'd put them in Tupperware, okay, in something very airtight, and make it so that there was very little extra air in there, and then I would keep them in the fridge like that, and then I would get them out to serve, one by one. I wouldn't like get the pot out I wouldn't get the container out and put it on the table just waiting for someone. I would pull them out to serve.
Right.
You know what I mean? So anyway, that's the nuances. These are my opinions, of course. You at home, I mean, baking hey, folks, bacon's all a personal thing. So, you know, if you've got other ideas about your truffles, by all means, share.
Tell us.
Share.
We want it.
Please, let me know. Okay? Tell me how it is. I would invite you to do that. So, anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you've learned something. Hope you've been mildly entertained in the process. And don't forget, folks, when you bake with love and passion, it's always going to be delicious, no matter what it is you're making. So, happy baking.